Hey guys, it's Jason DeLong with Heartland Homes KC. Hope you're enjoying your Friday. Just wanted to reach out on a subject that I get a lot of questions and people asking about is iBuyers, because it's kind of the trending topic in the news and also just the buzz around the water cooler. So we just want to go over a couple of those questions to help answer those for all that might have heard about it and want to know more information. I'm talking with Drew today, and he's going to ask me a few questions that might help shed some light on the subject. So, Drew, what's going on?
I'm great, Jason. How are you? Thanks for having me on.
I'm great, buddy.
Awesome. All right. So my first question I have for you, Jason, is just what is the basic definition of these iBuyer companies, or what are they?
So the iBuyer is a short for internet buyer or investment buyer. And it could be a mutual fund, hedge fund company that they just have a lot of cash that they're investing in real estate rather than the stock market or something else. But they've been around for quite a while and just kind of got tagged with the iBuyer name. But they're just buying Kansas City right now. I think they're 3,000 to 5,000 homes a year. Some of these companies that they're buying, and they're renting them out mostly, and then they'll hang on to them for 3 to 5 years and sell them, on appreciation or just straight cash flow. So they usually look for discounts, but they're not getting a lot of discounted prices with the way the market is right now.
Yeah, I would concur. I've seen that in some instances as well. So you kind of touched on this a little bit as far as my next question of why are these now iBuyers or internet buyers becoming more relevant in the real estate realm as opposed to maybe previously where they were around, but they weren't as prevalent?
Yeah, I think it's just, again, I mean, there's more of them now, and they're starting to branch out into more markets. Usually they hit the bigger markets first and then kind of trickle down to medium and by size, because they want to hit the most bang for their buck. And they look at a lot of key indicators in the market as far as demographics, and just here in Kansas City it's a good market because for the price, the home prices, the rent values are up as well. So you can get good cash flow a lot of times if you buy it right, and you're going to appreciate a little bit, not as much as like a California, but it's also a little bit more relevant for some of the sellers now with the market having less inventory. So they go to buy but have to sell. Some of these companies can step in and buy it and make them a ready active buyer, so they don't have to wait for the house to sell and miss out on other opportunities.
Yeah, absolutely. So in what situation would an iBuyer offer potentially be right for me as a seller?
So if you were, say, moving up in price, or downsizing, and you're going into a price point where there's not a lot of inventory and they move fast, you get stuck in that position where you put your house on the market first, it sells quick, and then you got to hurry up and find something. Well, if it's time for you to find something and you have to make a rush decision, you may not purchase the right house for you. So it's kind of either you're homeless or you own two houses type of situation, where this can kind of eliminate that contingency area and help avoid some of those hassles.
Awesome. Perfect. Yeah, definitely some of those hassles, they can, as far as showings and things like that, they can definitely be quite the hassle. Make sure my house is always ready to sell. So,
Yeah.
I mean, again, I'm interested in selling my house. So, what if I wanted to see the offers from these companies, but I have a trusted real estate professional, aka you? Again, that's why we're chatting here, Jason.
Right.
So if I wanted to see offers from these companies, but I still only want to deal with you, how could I go about doing so?
So, and we've been kind of working, practicing this for quite some time. And, we, now that the iBuyer name has really become the buzzword and a lot of people are starting to pick up on it and hear about it, what we do, since like and trust us, if that's the route you want to go, we'll go out and shop them for you. So we'll come back and get you 3 to 4 values on what they're willing to pay for your house. I mean, because they will range, depending on the buyer. But we'll shop them for you and kind of lay it out in front of you and say, hey, here's what your values are that they're willing to pay, and still work in your corner, on your side.
Awesome. Perfect. I appreciate you doing that for me, Jason, if you wouldn't mind getting some values on my house. All right.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Perfect. So, again, my next question, you've touched on this a little bit already too. So iBuyers are becoming a prevalent thing here in the Kansas City area.
There's a few of them here, kind of some of the smaller ones, and smaller, I mean, they're still buying 1,000, 2,000 houses a year. But some of the bigger ones, like, say in Phoenix or Dallas, I mean, they're buying 5,000 to 10,000. So some of the smaller ones are in Kansas City. The other, some of the, like, Open Door is a big one. And they, I don't know, they may never come to Kansas City, but, eventually once they tap out on the other markets, they probably will. So there's a handful here, but not the mainstream ones that most people hear about.
Okay, perfect. So just a little bit smaller options, not obviously those national brands attacking those major markets, correct?
Right. Yep.
All right,
Absolutely.
perfect. All right, and then very last thing I have for you, Jason, as far as questions regarding these, again, iBuyers, instant offer companies, as some people refer to them, but could you run through a couple of the benefits of, again, scenario and everything of when these iBuyers would be good, and
Yep.
as well as some of the cons?
Yep. I mean, there's a lot of benefits. I think really the biggest con is you're probably not going to get the top dollar that you think you might want to get, but that kind of goes into some of the benefits that, I mean, even the most perfect house that's maintained very well still is probably going to have $1,000 to $2,000 of make ready little fixes and repairs, the things that you always put off and say I'll do it later. So you're spending a couple $1,000s at least to get your house market ready, and you're decluttering. I mean, just the time that it takes to get the house market ready for photos and for buyers to come in. And then, once you go live on the market, either if you're in the price range where, I mean, you got 10, 15 buyers coming in per day. I mean, you're not going to be allowed to step in your house for, the first like week or two because you got so many showings. And it's, if you got kids and, pets, you get inundated with showings. Then you got to keep the beds made, dishes done, the whole gamut. So it's a stressful process. I mean, I tell them all the time, like, I mean, our house is never show ready. We got 3 kids, and so it's just it's a lot of hoops to jump through. I mean, you're talking 60 to 90 days of just constant stress on top of what your daily schedule is already. So there's a lot of benefits just in that regard alone. But and it's quick typically, and a lot of them will do a delayed close. So they'll give you 90 days to go find something and close once you're ready to close. Kind of just put that question mark on the close date. But it relieves that contingency period where you can go out and shop and be ready to go, to buy the new house.
All right. Awesome, Jason. So that really wraps up all of my questions I had for you today. So if people outside of this video do want to get in touch with you, what's the best way to do
that? Give me a call. Love to chat with you. Number's 816-651-5190, or, hit us up on Facebook. Either way, we can kind of walk you through the process and answer all the questions and kind of be in your corner, represent you on that side.
All right. Perfect, Jason. So with that being said, we'll wrap up here. All right.
Sounds good, Drew. I appreciate it, man.
Absolutely. Again, thanks for answering all my questions, Jason.